as much as it had a negative impact on this town from the point of view of some of the development that went in, I think that it is a necessity. It's an absolute social necessity that affordable housing be provided across the state. You could argue as to what the approach should be, but, because it could have been done different ways. I mean, if we look at Edgewood Estates, we got ourselves out of from 2% to 10% overnight by one project, and because they're all considered affordable, right, we did it without impacting the total number of citizens in the town. In other words, if you look at it from the point of view of 25% on some of the other developments, instead of 406 living units, we would have had 1,600 to satisfy. Right. So, I still support it. I think more could be done at a state level to deal with that issue.
Yeah, I mean, if we've relied upon, and the reason 40B is there is because the local communities did not step up and meet their responsibilities. And, as 40B was being implemented, the town of North Reading went to 2-acre zoning, just as an example. So we became more snobbish, as a result, the state had to step in and put in the 40B requirements that they could overrule the local zoning bylaws. So if that hadn't happened, there'd be a worse situation whereby, most of there'd be even more blighted areas in urban areas as opposed to spreading it out throughout the suburban communities who haven't met their obligations, and unless it's forced upon them at a statewide level, it's not gonna happen. So, I think it's important, that we continue to support the concept of affordable housing in our own community, taking care of the needs of our own community, and allowing people to be able to afford to stay here. They might move in, just to stay here.
So, and taking what everybody said, I think we've aired it out. I don't think we have unanimity with respect to saying we all support question 3, one way or the other, but I think we've given, at least for those that are watching and maybe in the press, an opportunity to stress our opinion about it.
I would say though, if it was 5%, I think I would. I know I would agree on it.
I think there would be a lot of people. I think a lot of people would agree on it. But again, what's being done is it's very similar to this other piece of legislation that you're looking to support at town meeting.
Right.
It's a shock and awe type thing to try and shock the legislature into taking appropriate action. And and at the same time, while you're doing that, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting the system, you're hurting this, rather than taking the reasonable approach that reasonable people can agree on. That's not what's being proposed.
Right. But it's not being proposed. The exact reason, I think it's been expressed a couple of times here this evening. The state legislature has not done what they should have done in terms of reforming state government. And I don't know how many times it has to happen before there's an uprising. That's what's happening here. And we're not going to solve it here, but that's the reason why.
This is the grassroots, so it does start here. We keep sending the same message up, and
nothing gets done.
express our consternation, and we keep electing the same people.
Well, I think the winds are changing. I think the winds are changing in November on that front.
Everybody loves their own state rep and their own state
But
senator.
at the
They're
same,
great guys.
but at the same time,
They've been there a long time, they haven't been able to effectuate the change.
I think from this board's point of view, I think we've been apolitical. We're interested in what's best for the town, period.
Which is why I brought up the questions.
It doesn't matter whether we're liberals, Republicans, Democrats, or Tea Partiers, it makes no difference, right?
I'm a tea drinker.
Tea drinker. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'm the
you
only one
wanna
that
go?
know what the new business is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How
You were
about
the
that?
only
And
one.
I'll be brief. I only have two
Okay,
things.
sorry.
I just can't state enough about Mr. Diamond's resignation, how sad it is that he's leaving, but, that we have a lot of amazing people through our town that volunteer their time, as we all volunteer our time on this committee and on many other committees throughout the town. But this gentleman has really, if you had to look at one individual, it's made a significant impact on to making the town better. Mr. Diamond has truly done that, and I can't thank him enough for all his time and efforts, and I and I wish him and his family well. The last thing I have is town meeting, October 4th, at the high school. I know it's Monday Night Football and the Patriots are playing, but you know what? There's 12 other games you can be home for, so I'm gonna ask
You have to
people
remind anyone.
to find it in their heart, to put that aside and really please be there and join us. You know, us, everyone here in this room, we put a lot of time and effort in it to help better this town. And all we ask is a couple times a year, for you to give up your time to be there with us,
I got tickets.
to be there with us at town meeting, and I would really appreciate it if you could do that. Thank you.
Me? I
Mr.
too
Delaney.
want to echo the sentiments that Michael just expressed, and as Steve and Bob had earlier expressed, for Larry's time and commitment to this community, and just express my appreciation to him. And I wish him the best, and hopefully he enjoys his time with his family. He deserves it. On town meeting, I hope everyone does come out. In terms of the Patriots game, that Michael had to remind everyone, TiVo it. You can watch it in about an hour after town meeting. That's my suggestion.
An hour.
It's only, so, versus 3 hours. It's only twice a year you're asked to come out. It's the purest form of government, and I ask everyone to come out for a few hours and be a part of your community and make decisions, and help make decisions that are important to this community. Thank you.
Jeff?
Yes, I didn't know Larry Diamond that well. I've only met him a few times, but you can tell the quality of a person by how they just reach out by their actions. Actions do speak louder than words, and I know that he's done an awful lot for the community, well before I even arrived in 1995. So I wish him well, I wish his family well, and may everything go as good as it can go for him. I have tickets to the game. I guess I can't go, huh?
Are you donating them? People are outside.
I'm a
Maybe you
season
can
ticket
raffle them
holder,
off to help support our budget.
Anybody that lives outside of North Reading.
Also, don't forget, we have the October 3rd, the LUC Commissioners' Cup at the Hillview. And pull out those clubs, go play some golf. Thank you.
What's your handicap?
I don't know, but I'm allowed to park in that parking spot.
There's not, there's not enough to be said about Mr. Diamond, and he will be sadly missed on the Hillview Commission, and I do wish him well and his family well. Town meeting? I guess we have a little conflict with the Patriots, but town meeting is important. There's a lot on the agenda. And not only would I encourage you to come, but I also encourage you to help us be efficient and get it done in one evening. I'd like to thank the town administrator for his efforts in getting all of this organized for us, and the rest of his staff. And I look forward to getting through town meeting and moving on to the next phase of planning for FY 2012. With that, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, and I'd like to also again welcome Laureen, our new, and see what happens. Laureen Dalton, our new recording secretary. Welcome aboard. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Michael, seconded by Jeff. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Unanimous. Also thank our
Mine would be opposed.
reporter from the press, sitting in for Mr. Toros, who's out vacationing.
Financial planning team meeting, when's the next one?
Oh, yeah, I